G'day viewers, we're at Vance Junction and we're going to head up to Trout Lake. We're on the Rio Grande Southern by Milepost Simulations. We're going to be using the little Baldwin machine here, the 282 K27 locomotive. It's a 3-foot gauge, narrow gauge machine. Now I was really looking forward to this route, and I was really looking forward to some more narrow gauge. I'm not unhappy. You saw my earlier thoughts. But let's go for a cruise. Get the reverser all the way forward. Cylinder cocks open that way, I think. Get a bit of throttle happening. And get the brakes off. The brakes are very, very slow to charge up and release. And with such a short train, it should do it pretty quick. The whistle's certainly a bit wrong. It should be a nice, either a 5 chime or a 3 chime. Either would be fine. Don't mind the speeding, just getting a head start on the hill. The speeding won't last long. Maybe it will. Oh, that's right, the locomotive's too powerful. How many steam engines do you know could pull 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a caboose? Loaded cars up a 3% grade and not die in the arse. Having a coffin moment. As long as there's no nails in the coffin, it's fine, isn't it? So 50% throttle, 30% cut off, 3% grade. It's accelerating. That's not right. But that's okay. As for the route itself, we'll do a bit of a visit to the key locations, or the things that I think are the key locations anyway, after we go for a drive. When you have this thing on manual fireman, being clear I don't, just get rid of the HUD, don't really need it. Just being clear, I don't have it on manual fireman at the moment. I have it on automatic fireman like I usually do. But let's just say it uses almost no coal, almost no water, and just makes infinite steam. So the physics are NQR, not quite right. Now, after I drove and formulated my own opinion, I did go and check out some other people's reviews, and they were saying that it's not as good as the Clear Creek stuff. And some people were saying it's like the Clear Creek stuff. I agree with that. And some people are saying, like the Clear Creek stuff, it's bad. Well, I don't actually agree the Clear Creek stuff's bad. I actually quite enjoy that route, and I quite enjoy driving the trains. Some of the add-ons are good fun. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me at all if some of the Clear Creek stuff finds its way onto this route when I'm playing. This train, for example, would probably be good with a combine coach. Half baggage, half passenger, bit of freight storage. Just seems right. Be particularly good if we had a goose. But we don't have a goose. Just going to keep cycling through the 4 key until I get one that's on the side of the train. And yep, it's not going to happen today. Let's see if we can force it. 8 and then 4. No. Alright, we'll do it the hard way. Pretty loud bell for one that's so far away. Why did I choose this part of the route to show it off? Well, I like the scenery. And I like the feel of this area. I like climbing up the monstrously steep hill, but I wish the locomotive wasn't quite as powerful as it is to make it a little bit of a challenge, shall we say. And we're going to cross the monster trestle bridges. So just out of interest, we've come from down there. Down at Vance Junction, and we've climbed all this way effortlessly, no effort at all, and still blowing off on the safety valve. So there's definitely something wrong, because it kind of makes infinite steam. So according to the middle one, which I think is the steam chest, we've got 80 pounds in the steam chest, and we've just got a constant 200 in the boiler. None of these things are modelled, so it's a bit of an old-fashioned cab, certainly not in the Pro line. You can open your valves for your injectors. You can't open the tricox. You can't open the blowdown valve on the water gauge, which invariably is full, by the way. Look at that, totally full, never goes down. Lovely roaring fire. What's this do? Sander. Okay. But that's all good, I suppose. What could you possibly want for $58? I admit for the most part the loco looks okay. The stock that comes with it is all quite good. Everything comes in loaded and unloaded. All of this stock is loaded, except that cattle car, which should be, but isn't. I quite like it when the cattle cars are loaded, because they go moo. I'll move slightly so I don't hit the phone poles. You going downhill yet? No. Train just hit our camera. Yep. Here's our first trestle. And it's a whopper. Distant scenery as usual in TSC. Not so hot. Close-up stuff, pretty good. I don't mind the trees they've used. My initial view was that there were too many trees for a high desert. but then I looked at more images of the area. I went back to my photos of the area from when I visited back in about 2000, I think it was. Something in that vicinity, 2001 maybe. And my photos did show like this. So on that visit I did walk some of the line, and we visited quite a few of the places along the line, the ones you can get to anyway. Because of course it's all closed these days. It doesn't exist anymore really. Welcome to Ames. Now I'm not sure about the placement of the water tower here at Ames. I actually thought the water tower was at the end of the siding, but it's just around the corner, which means it'll do the job. But we have an infinitely steaming locomotive that has an infinite amount of water and an infinite amount of coal and an infinite amount of fire and an infinite amount of steam. So we're not stopping for the water tank. It's a decent representation of a RGS water tank. There's several of them along the route. Not all of the ones that should be on the route are actually there, but a lot of them are. I did see that Fanrailer has put out a whistle mod, so I think for me I'll probably grab that. But for this activity I'll run all defaults with no mods. Because you need to know what you're going to get for your cash. That one's a decent bridge. I did check out the bridges against various photos. The bridges seem fairly accurate to me. You don't need them much when they're going uphill, but these brakes take forever to apply and forever to release. So you'll find yourself stopping a lot on downhill runs. And going really, really fast. Now I think just up here somewhere we've got a nice scenic spot. There we go. I did go a long way, didn't I? I reckon with our magic locomotive we could tow about 100 cars up here. I don't think it would bother it much at all. See in the distance there some of the really big trestles that we're on the way to. So we continue our climb up to Trout Lake. You could chuck a bit of riprap or something there to just disguise the raised ground versus the not raised ground. You really could. You know, pop up round the corner, what do you reckon? Hello, train. We're coming up on Windy Point. Sound of the rolling stock's okay. Missed it by that much. You know, I'll be up there soon, right? These rocks seem a bit clumsy and unnatural. Oh, it's down there. I come too far. I think we've missed it. We have. It's down there already. Imagine being the guy that surveyed this line originally. I've just applied the brakes. Where's the compressor running? Now, there are some nice touches on the route. This is one of them. Mining cable cars. How much fun would it be to ride one of these things? Where do they go? Oh, nowhere. Fantastic. All that effort, and you don't make it go to a mine. Oh dear. There's no animation in the motion for when you use the reverser, or Johnson bar as it's often referred to, because every driver likes his hand on his Johnson bar. Just waiting for the brakes to release. Remember when I said they take forever? They take forever. Might just have a bit of a sleep while I wait. There yet? No. Oop, there we go. Brakes are releasing. We're starting to roll backwards down the hill. Looms from the cylinder cocks are a bit silly. With infinite power, we take off again. The river is, well, geometrical. That was the big Ophir loop. Let's just come up here ahead of the train a bit. Let's just come up here onto the corner. Get it coming up the hill. Spot. Speeding. Oh no. Whatever will we do? There we go. Monster trestle. Let's see it cross the monster trestle bridge. I think this is about where we start going downhill again. Let's just pop on the F3 HUD. Oh no, we're still going up to Matterhorn. Why do I have the enter the line at Matterhorn? I think we have some points set for a siding up at Montezuma. let's just have a bit of a look. So we're coming flying up here. Somewhere along here. I think we're set for a sighting. We are indeed. Look at that. There we go. Now we're set for the main. That's better. That won't be half as embarrassing. So if I've set up a quick drive that's taking me to Trout Lake, I would have expected it to set the points, but clearly not. I haven't played any of the scenarios yet, so I don't know if they're more engaging than just chugging up the hill like this, which I have to say is not particularly engaging. You. There's some places where I think they've got this really, really right. And there's some places where I think they've got this really, really wrong. And there's not that much in the middle. Cruise through Matterhorn. Now, points were set for that sighting, so that would have been pretty funny. Had I not popped on the F3 HUD and gone, oh. I reckon with Magic Steaming Loco, we could pick up all of those cars and take them with us. I'm almost tempted to do it. I don't think there's anywhere to run around there though, so no, there's not. So you, without doing some creative hand shunting, you actually can't do it. So you can only pick up cars from there in the down direction. Makes you wonder how they got there, doesn't it? I don't think we're particularly far from Trout Lake now. Yep, there it is, just up there, not too far at all. Frame rate, you ask? Sure. Look at that. It's a bit high, actually. I normally have it capped at 60, but it's clearly not quite behaving itself. No, frame rate's excellent right throughout the entire route. I haven't found anywhere where it goes bad, so... The trees are of a suitable texture. Now, out of this world. Those trees look nice at a distance, but they don't stand up so well up close. But, you know, that's just a trade-off between frame rate and the rest of the world. Here's a huge flume. which doesn't really seem to go anywhere. It just seems to disappear into the ground, which is a bit strange. Those are for powering mining machinery generally. And we are in fact arriving at Trout Lake. We'll proceed round to the water tank just up there. Actually, no, we won't. I think we should stop here. Here are those brakes taking forever to apply. Not sure what that noise is. It sounds something like a stones generator, which it does have one. Maybe it's on because the headlight's on. Oh, we've got an injector going a bit nutty. That's what the noise is. That's very strange, isn't it? That's rather unpleasant, in fact. It's quite an unpleasant noise. And probably unnecessary one. Oh well. So, what do I think? The locomotive needs some work, it really does. It's a bit sad. I think they tried hard, but it's a hit and a miss. The route is pretty good. The historic places I've been through, I've checked all of the stations. They actually look a lot like images of the area and my own images. I've checked some of the places like the mines. They look quite good. They're not quite right, but you know, if you think of it in a model railway world where you model most of something, you're a bit selective, maybe you make things a bit smaller, that's pretty much what's happened here, and I can understand that. Everything operates to a budget. The locomotive, though, could have been so much better. And it's the star. It's the star of the route. I mean, I do get to compare it to the pro-level locomotives, and this certainly isn't one, but it could have been. What an opportunity to have one. So, in this next bit of the video, we're going to do a quick run through some of the places that I looked at and just compare them to images. Let's have a quick look at Placerville. So the general shape of the building's probably not too bad, but let's just bring this image in. And thanks to the friends of the Cumbria and Toltec Scenic Railroad Historic Photo Collection. So just a bit of fair use going on here. You can see the Placerville station sign is missing, the telegraph sign's missing, the telegraph wires themselves are missing, and the big standout is the train order signal, just isn't even there. And if we bring in this image, this is an image from the end of the building. Now, this is the other end of the building, but it's the same on both. Again, you can see the train order signal behind the goose. This time we're at Vanadium, which is the site of a mine. The general landscape's not too awful, but let's bring in an image. So this is pretty much the same view. So what I'm missing, let me move this over a little bit. What I'm missing here, and thanks to the digital collection of the Denver Public Library, there's a lot of buildings that aren't here or aren't quite right. I can understand that. Producing assets is expensive. The overall feel's not bad. I think there could have been some bigger chimneys in here. I think they are quite important. But what is missing is the rock strata. So if we have a look across the middle of the photograph, you can see the rock strata there. There's been a little bit of rock popped out, but not a lot. I think that could have been better. The general tree coverage is about right, though. This time we're at Deep Creek. This does look like a southern water tank, so it's not too bad. It's pretty close. It looks a lot like the one at Trout Lake, to be honest. And let's have a look at the general area. So this is near to Deep Creek, again from the Denver Public Library digital collection. You kind of see the general gist of the area. It's not too bad. There's probably a bit much green, I think. There should be a lot more exposed rock. But yeah, it's fairly close. You can also see that Deep Creek itself is not big. And in here, it is rather large. This is the first of the significant trestle bridges on the line, the trestle bridge at Bilk or near it. And here we have a image. So you can see it's actually pretty close. It's not too bad at all. Now we're at Vance Junction. Let's bring in an image. So it's actually not bad, I guess. It's pretty close to the real Vance Junction. Looks like maybe the points in the siding aren't quite in the right place, so they should have started back around the station or depot building. This time we've gone a bit higher and reached Telluride, so let's just bring in an image. So it's probably not too bad. The distant mountains could possibly do with a bit of work. The building's not too bad. It is missing its station sign though. I can see some things in the distance that also aren't here. It looks like a coaling stage perhaps. That's not here, but there's the water tank up there that is here. So yeah, Telluride's not too bad a representation. Righto, now we're at Pandora Mine. Let's just bring in an image. Now, the first thing I see here is the switch stand is the wrong way round, and it's slightly the wrong shape. The mine's not too bad. It actually looks like a... Don't go up there. It actually looks like a relatively good version of the mine. There's a couple of bits and pieces missing in the scene, but it's not too bad. It is very clean, though. If you look in the picture, it's very cluttery. And there's a building up behind the mine that's not quite right. Let's just pop around and look at this switch stand. It is a harp switch stand, so it's the right stand. It's just the wrong way round. Oh well, details, details. We're at the Ames water tank that seems to be mysteriously around the corner from where it really is. But let's just bring in a little image. Don't go up there, don't go up there. This one's actually, yeah, I have to say not too bad. It's brushy. It's kind of the way it should be, I guess. Ames water tank. Now we're at Butterfly Mill. And this one, also not too bad, to be honest. So they've got the buildings in their operational state rather than dilapidated. But the general feel of the landscape and the size of the trestle bridge and the modelling of the trestle bridge, yeah, pretty much spot on. I like this one. Now we're at Ophir Loop, which I think does capture the feeling of the area. And let's check an image. It's pretty good. Pretty close. I wouldn't go with quite spot on, but no, it's quite good. So I think the modelling in this area is good enough. Now we're at the fairly spectacular in-game and in reality Trout Lake. So let's just see if I can get an image that's not full of advertising for you. Here we go. So I think this is this spot here with the water tank just around the corner and looking out over the lake. So it's not too bad. I did struggle to find good images of the actual tank area, which is just up here. I found quite a lot of images of trains at the tank, but of course, you know, the photographers always face this way. Why would you face that way when you've got that behind you? But anyway, photographers, what can you do? Trout Lake looks about right to me. And at Lizard Head, this is another one that I think's, you know, it's actually pretty close to reality. I'm just looking at an image on my left here. Let me bring it over. I think that's actually not too bad. That's pretty close to the real deal. And once again, I do wish we had a goose for this line. Here we are at Coke Ovens. We're getting pretty close to the end of the line now. And let's, as usual, let's bring in a little image. That looks not too bad to me. See the little buildings. You can see the house over there. The landscape is a little different. It seems a little high in the foreground here. Apart from that, not too bad at all. This one's Rico Engine House. Let's bring in an image from Brewer Railroad Plans. I have to say it's Not too bad. Seems certainly better lit in this image, but not too bad at all. Looks quite close. Still at Rico, this is the depot. Let's bring in an image from the Rico record. That doesn't look too bad to me. It's missing the signal again, train order signal, but the water tank looks pretty good, and the depot itself looks pretty good as well. The siding's wrong. It's shingle siding up on the dormer windows, but the rest of it doesn't look too bad, to be honest. I think gets a thumbs up from me. The locomotive gets a thumbs in the middle because it does actually work. It's just wrong. Its physics is bad. Someone will make a patch for it. It'll be fine. The rolling stock that you get's quite good. It's another thumbs in the middle for me. I should probably hold my thumbs up, shouldn't I? Thumbs up for the route. Thumbs middle locomotive. Thumbs middle for the rolling stock. The scenarios look okay. I haven't actually tried any of them yet, but the descriptions sound okay. I will get into those when I have a moment. I'll schedule this thing for a weekend stream and we will play the game.